Hello everyone. Now today we are going to start Python course formally, and in this course we are basically going to learn Python, the programming language. I have given you the definition of Python in our previous video. Today we are basically starting the programming, the coding that we call it in Python. So what I have done here is I have opened VS Code, Visual Studio Code, which we need as a code editor to write our code, our program, so we can compile and code. So what I'll do is I'll create a file called lesson1.py. So what I did here is the lesson1 is the name of the file, and after the .py is the extension of Python. Whenever you want to write Python code, what you can do is you need to do is, or you want to do is to write .py to indicate that I am going to create a Python file, and we need Python interpreter to read this code and compile this code to machine language. So if I press enter, we have a Python file where we can write our code. So in this course I am basically going to follow a book called A Smarter Way to Learn Python. So you can go to Google and write a smarter way to learn Python. So it's a very easy book, and you can follow this book. I have downloaded already, and so whenever a programmer starts writing, he or she definitely starts with this magical word, hello world. So when I started learning Python, I was also one of the students who wrote this to learn this function. Now this is written in Python. I have written print. Print is basically a statement, is a keyword in Python, and this total statement or line here is called function. We'll talk about functions later. So whatever we are giving here within these two parentheses, it will print that particular string or number, whatever it is in the parentheses. It will print that on our screen. So what we are going to do is we can save it and we can open our terminal. There are various ways that we can compile this code. The very easy way is that you open the terminal. We'll wait for the terminal to be opened. It takes time for the first time. So what I can write is Python. I should write that this is a Python script, and then I should give the lesson .python. So what it will do is it will print hello world on our script. See, we have seen hello world on our script. So if you want to print if you want to print numbers, then we can also do that. We're going to save it. We are going to compile it again. See, we have seen that number in printed on the screen. So whenever we want to print something on the screen, we will definitely know in coming videos that why do we need Python print function. So you see that there are 2 or 3 things that you want to know. That the first is that it is a print, print. The P should not be in capital. Python is a case sensitive language where print with capital P is different from print with small p. So we need to take care of that we should always write print with small p. So print is a function. Basically print is basically a function. Okay, it takes argument, and whatever the argument is, it will print that argument on our screen. So in lesson 1 we talked about Python print statement. Its print statement is used to print something on the screen. So in this lesson we are going to talk about variables for string in Python. Variables for string in Python. We are going to talk about that in this lesson. So first of all, we need to understand that what is variable. Simply, variable is a holder which holds some value in it. For example, if I want to store something, I want something to store it. For example, if I want to store my ATM card, I need my wallet to store it. If I want to keep my coins, I want to have coin box. So variables are basically holders that hold some value in it. So in Python, variable stores values so that you can use them without repeating the value itself. Here are some key points about variables for string. So there are different variable or different data type that we are going to talk about in coming videos. Here I want to talk about string. So see, all the names are string. Apart from that, all the numbers are also or can be string if we write them within these brackets, within these commas, double commas. For example, if I write 340, this is a string. If I write 340, this is a number. So these are variables that we use in Python. So for example, if I write, I have these two variables here. For example, I have name and I have nationality. For example, the name is very important. So this is name. This is called the name of the variable, and this is called the value of the variable. So if I write print name, it will definitely print the value of the variable. See, and if I write nationality and then run it, I can see US written here. So variables are basically holders that are used to store some value in it. So these are variables for strings. You can see that all the values are here within the double quotes. So it means that these are string variables, so string data type. So remember this as a rule of thumb, that whatever is written within double quotations or single quotations, it is called string in Python. So this is lesson number 2, that we really need to remember that we have variables for storing string value in Python. For example, we have name as a variable to store mark. We have nationality as a variable to store US. Since US and mark are there within double quotations, it means that they are strings. Now I want to talk about some rules, or maybe 2 rules, which are very important whenever you want to write variables in Python. The first rule is that no space in variable name. Use underscore instead. So whenever we want to write some variable, we can write we cannot use space within 2 names. For example, I cannot write this country space name. Country name equals to Pakistan. I cannot write that because see, it has also indicated that it is not a valid way to write. Statements must be separated by new lines or semicolons. So you cannot you cannot use variable names with space simply. So what is the solution for this is that whenever you want to write 2 names as a variable, you want to use underscore to separate them. So when I write a country name is equals to Pakistan, it is not going to give me anything. So it means that the first rule which we need to remember is that we cannot separate variable names with a space, with an empty space. Rather than we can use underscore to separate if we want to separate variable names. So this is the valid way to write variables in Python. So what I wrote is country name, country underscore name equals. So remember that equal, the sign equal is used for assignment in Python. What I'm saying is that there should be a variable called country name, and I want to store Pakistan in it. So equals means I want to store Pakistan in the country name. So this is the rule. So now if I want to print this country name, it is going to print Pakistan on the screen. Sorry, I haven't saved it yet, so that's why. Now see, it printed Pakistan on the screen. So this is the first rule. The second rule is do not enclose variable names in quotes. So the first rule was this. This is the first rule. This is the first rule, and the second rule is that I cannot write variable names in quotations. For example, I cannot write this country underscore name, although it follows the first rule, but I cannot write this country name is equals to. This is also not allowed in Python. So the first rule is that So the first rule is that I cannot write variable names separated by empty space, and the second is that I cannot enclose the variable name in quotation. Whenever I do that, I'm going to get error. To sum it up, we have two most important rules, and other than that we have other rules as well. We cannot start variable name with. The third rule is cannot start variable name with number. So this is the third rule. For example, if I want to write this 09 country underscore name is equals to Pakistan. So I cannot write this, so because it will give us error. These are the conventions that we need to follow. These are rather the rules in Python that we need to follow. So the first rule is that variable names cannot be separated with empty space like we did here. It's wrong. Python will give us error. The second is that variable names cannot be written within quotations. I mean, I cannot write this. This is wrong. The third rule is that we cannot start variable names with number, otherwise Python is going to give us error. So that's why we need to follow these three rules. These are the most important rules in Python whenever we are going to write variables. So let's correct it. So these are the rules that we need to follow whenever we are writing variable names or we are writing variables in